I saw that you started with IVF in 2017. Had you tried naturally before that, or was that your first experience of wanting to have a family and have children?
Oof, well, yes. So I got married when I was 33, and we had no inkling that we would have any trouble conceiving. We were both relatively young in the scheme of things. We had no health issues. I worked in the fitness industry. We ate well. We didn't have any concerns or any reason to think we'd have a trouble conceiving. And I went off birth control shortly after we got married, and my cycle never returned. And it was one of those
Mm.
things where we went back to doctors and said, look, is this normal? Is this okay? Do we need to have any testing done? No, 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 it's normal. It can take a few months after you're coming off birth control for your cycle to regulate again. Don't worry, just keep waiting. So we did, we waited and we waited. And at about the 12-month mark, we started getting a bit worried. And we went down the natural route. We tried all sorts of alternative therapies, and nothing seemed to kickstart my cycle. And my gynecologist didn't really know what to do. She said, oh, a year is a long time. It really should have started by now. So we were referred to a fertility clinic. So we never really got to try naturally, which was a really frustrating experience. The trying every month is its own journey in itself, but when you don't even have that option, it's a really
Mm.
difficult place to be. So we eventually referred to a fertility doctor who did run quite a few tests, and I will never forget that day sitting in the doctor's clinic where he just pushed this piece of paper over and he said, I think you've gone through early menopause. And that's not something that a 30, well, I guess I was 34 by that stage, wants to hear. And he said, well, look,
Mm.
we can try and get you to ovulate. So I was given a whole bunch of different medications to try and get me to ovulate. None of that worked. And he said, look, your only option really is IVF and you need to do it soon. So, that was sort of not what we wanted to hear. Of course, no one really wants to go through IVF, but it's sort of seen as like IVF is the big guns, right? You think, well, finally something will actually help. But it didn't, and it didn't work. And that's where I think we really had to take a little look at our lives and say, well, maybe this isn't going to happen for us. And that was a really, really difficult time.